Hey guys, NicMakesPlays here. That's me. Today I'm going to go over my Nocturne Nightfall deck. I've already had two guides on this deck, but they're really long, and I want to make like a shorter, more condensed version for you guys, where I just show over the deck really briefly, and then I play like two games, show you why I do things. So I have two other videos that are really long if you want to watch like the in-depth like Nightfall guide to be Nightfall Mastermind, but this would be a quicker one, and there's a new card in the deck because of the patch that happened. And let's get right into it. Alright. We got 3 Fading Memories, 3 Lunari Deathbringer, 3 Slayer Soldier, 3 Stygian Onlooker, 3 Diana, 3 Lunari Shadestalker, and 3 Mountain Goat. This is the new card. So I'll go over it real quick. Alright. 2 mana, 3/2, strike, create a gem in hand. A gem is a 1 mana, heal an ally, grant it +1/+0, but can't be cast in combat or in response to a spell. The reason I play this is it's similar to Lunari Deathbringer, at least roll-wise, where this is a 1-drop that gives you a Nightfall activator, right? 1-drop gives you the Dust Petal, right? This is a 2-drop, crazy, right? 2-drop that gives you a Nightfall activator. So basically 2-drop, 3/2 gives you a Nightfall activator. If it trades with like literally anything and they both die in combat, you get the Nightfall activator. It's a good trade for you. It's as simple as that. The gem can be cool. I mean, it's usually just a Nightfall activator, but it can be cool to push extra damage with that, like if you need on Diana to give her a higher attack. That way when she challenges something, she makes sure she kills it. That's useful. The main way I usually use the gem, I mean, there's plenty, you can put it on like Crescent Guardians to Overwhelm, but the main way I do is a Nightfall activator is I usually put it on Lunari Shadestalker because she's elusive and she usually gets like a few attacks in, and a 3/3 elusive for 2 is really good. I mean, you pay 1 for the gem, but you know what I mean. I usually just put it on Lunari Shadestalker because I feel it's a safe thing to put it on if I don't really have like a particular thing I need to use it on, like again, like Diana for the Challenger example, will quick attack. So you should just put on Lunari Shadestalker, but you can put on whatever. That's not anything specific. You can use it just to line up, like, let's say your field is like, say it's 2 Mountain Goats. It's just 2 Mountain Goats, your opponent's a 4 defense creature. You can just put it on a Mountain Goat and only attack with the Mountain Goat, so that way they are forced to trade or take so much damage. Yeah, anyways, enough about that card. Card's good. It's amazing. I like it a lot, this deck. Alright. 3 Pale Cascade, 3 Stalking Shadows, 3 Unspeakable Horror. This is the last... I'll come back to why I play this card. This is the only thing that's alterable, the deck. 3 Crescent Guardian, 3 Doom Beast, 3 Nocturne, 1 Cygnus. This could be Atrocity, I guess. But I really like the Cygnus because... there's a few reasons, but... One of the main ones, the 2 main ones are, 1 is that it makes your damage spread out between 2 things. So if you put Cygnus down, it becomes elusive itself, but you can also put its effect, you know, give an ally elusive on like a Nocturne or Diana that's leveled up, or Crescent Guardian, and then they have to deal with 2 cards instead of just 1 card, which is good because it dodges a lot of removal spells. And then the other thing is that with Stalking Shadow, like this is your bomb, right? Or like your top end. It's one of your main finishers. If you have this 1 space as Atrocity, right? You won't see Atrocity all your games, just a 1 of. But with Stalking Shadows, you have a higher chance of seeing the Cygnus the Moonstalker because pick a follower from the top of cards of your deck, draw it to the rest into your deck, create an ephemeral copy of it. So not only do you have a higher chance of seeing the Cygnus, but you also get to get multiple copies of it. So if you do pick Cygnus off of this, not only do you get 1 finisher, because Cygnus you get 2 Cygnuses, 1 being ephemeral, but you just use it when you're going for a game. So you get to see it more often. You get multiple copies of it. It makes the damage spread out. Whereas Atrocity can't be hit by Stalking Shadows less often. Slightly lower odds, and even, you know, you could whiff Stalking Shadows entirely if you were not a unit. This doesn't really come up too much. One of the other main reasons I don't like Atrocity, though, is that so this is only a one slot in my deck, right? You could run multiple Atrocities, but I like having the 1 Cygnus because it's very low committal in terms of bricking or like having dead hands. Like if you were to draw multiple Cygnuses or multiple Atrocities, whatever you were to run, how do I put this? If you were to run more Atrocities to make your deck see your finisher more reliably, you'd have a higher chance of having brick hands where you see Atrocity too early and then you brick because it's a dead card until like you want to use it as a finisher, and then you can't win because, you know, you just drew a dead hand and it sucks. But with Cygnus, as a 1 of, you have a lower chance of having these brick hands. And if you run 1 Atrocity only, then you have the other side of it is that you don't see your finisher that often. But one Cygnus is a nice middle ground where it lets you see your finisher more reliably because of Stalking Shadows, and it gives you multiple finishers if you have Stalking Shadows. But it doesn't take up the deck building space and cause a higher chance of bricking by having too many cards that cost too much. Because you need to have things relatively cheap in this deck, because you need to spend mana on Nightfall Activators like every turn. Last thing, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I just concluded this was the best final slot for... This was the only contention slot. I tried other cards. I tried Spacey Sketcher. I tried Behold the Infinite. I tried Guiding Touch. These are all Nightfall Activators. Nightfall Activator, Nightfall Activator, Nightfall Activator. These are all very good. I think that this is slightly better. This isn't actually a Nightfall Activator, so this is actually a different role than all these three. I just think that overall this was like a better card. This is a good Nightfall Activator, and I played with 3 of this for a while instead of Unspeakable Horror because the Invoke is just good against like especially super late game decks like control decks. You can be really clutch to get like Living Legends and the Great Beyond to finish with. But the issue is that it's expensive. I mean, 2 mana is decently expensive as a Nightfall Activator, especially against mid-range and aggressive decks to not really do that much. And a lot of times the card you get, if you get a low-cost card, it wasn't really worth the mana like that you used to Behold to invoke, and then also the mana you paid for the card you're about to play. Like let's say it's Messenger. That's even a good one. The dog, that's 4 mana. Even though it does give you 2 different Nightfall Activators, it still is 4 mana. Usually you'll be fine to have enough Nightfall Activators. You just need this one Nightfall Activator from the burst spell. And then if you get a higher cost card, like let's say you get Golden Sisters or the Destroyer or something, or even just like the Warrior, they're too expensive because you really want to. You're using so much mana per turn in the form of multiple cards because you need to play Nightfall one card activate Nightfall, then your Nightfall cards. So it's this conundrum where like a lot of the lower cost cards aren't worth like the mana, losing the tempo, using all that mana just to like get the invoke and then also play the card. But the higher cost cards cost too much to like, so you can't map out your turns with them. Like you try to map out your Nightfall turn and it's like this huge mana commitment with like if you get the Warrior or something strong, like higher than that. This card was okay. I mean, I don't know. It was okay, I guess. I think this is better. In short, even though they're different roles, this is more of a Nightfall Activator. And this is I don't know, I just didn't run around Steam. You don't even run out of Steam with this deck. This was cool because you get some late game for decks that make you like force you into the later games, which is a lot of decks and just scenarios this format and in the game in general. A lot of decks, like as much as you want to beat them, like around like the mid game, they force you into situations where you get later game, especially if you open awkward. And Sketcher just didn't really have the late game reliability that this card had, and Unspeakable Horror can give you like Cygnus or Lunari Priestess, which is good. Even Duskrider could. I mean, it's not really that great in the late game, but at least it's strong. I don't know. Space Sketcher didn't really give us that. And then Guiding Touch, heal an ally or Nexus 2, draw 1. This was cool because there's a Nightfall Activator to let you draw cards from your own deck. So instead of getting a random invoke card, a lot of times I'd really need like, you know, this deck's a functional deck. The pieces go together. I'd be missing like a Nocturne, or I'd really need, I don't know, maybe say Cygnus or Stalking Shadows, Doom Beast or whatever, and it kind of get to that. But a lot of times it was kind of just awkward against control decks again because you wouldn't like the healing wouldn't really matter that much, and you'd just be paying 2 mana to draw a card and activate Nightfall, which is expensive, but still pretty good. I actually like this card a lot. I like this card a lot. They're all good. They're all good. But I ended up with Unspeakable Horror. Not really a Nightfall Activator. I just had to make do with the Nightfall Activators already in the deck. But this was cool because you get to, if you get to kill a card with this, like if you get to kill a card that's 1 defense, and then you get a Nightfall card to your hand, that's amazing. And it's also, you have a bit more Nightfall Activators now because this card creates gems in your hand. So the whole like needing Nightfall Activators, you still need a lot of Nightfall Activators, but this helps a little bit. Alright, I probably talked about this longer than I wanted to, so let's get right into the games. So I played 2 try-hard days with this deck, and I went 17-3 the first day with Nightfall on EU Master Ladder, and then the next day I went 16-0 with Nightfall on EU Master Ladder. Gained like 456 LP or something like that. So I'll try and recreate some of that in this video. Hopefully we can do that well again. Here I'm mowing my whole hand. You really want to see Slayer Soldier or Diana, Lunari Dustbringer, Mountain Goat as starters. Like this isn't really a card that's going to help you win the early game. This isn't either. This isn't either. This isn't either. either no one start too weak, especially against Sejuani Gangplank, or they're able to level up really easily. This hand's not very good, unfortunately. But let's see what we can do. Okay. Attack here, it's fine. Hopefully we can draw like a Fading Memories. That way we can just kill this with Diana. We can activate her Nightfall. Okay, we drew Fading Memories actually. I didn't think we were actually gonna draw that, but we'll take it. I mean, he can counterplay a lot of this. I mean, Higher Gun's good to kill my Diana next turn. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so he's doing Make It Rain to get the trigger for the Sejuani Gangplank. Sorry, 2 out of 5. Puts it at 1 defense, which is very good for him. Because he could have another Make It Rain or something. That's really interesting. I mean, I don't want to like use the Invoke to trigger Nightfall and not do anything with it. So as much as I want to do stuff this turn, we'll just have to pass. Alright. So I want to keep my Pill Cascades open this turn. I also would like to play Stygian Onlooker, I think, but I could also lose to Make It Rain. Doomy's to be good. It's kind of a weird scenario. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to do. Yodel Grifter's a common turn right here. We can maybe Behold Infinite and just see what he does. And then Stygian Onlooker and leave man open for double Pale Cascade. This could also be good to put on some damage. We'll just Behold Infinite though. Do what we said the first time. This has to Behold. This is going to take too long. We need to get the Warrior here. Not the greatest pick, but it's what we want to do right now. We'll pass here. See what he does before we decide to commit to anything. I'm expecting Yodel Grifter and like a Make It Rain when we attack. We'll see. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to cross me. I cannot turn back.
So in case he just takes this, like he's not gonna block this. That would. He knows we have Pale Cascade. We're telegraphing it too hard. So I think we have to do this prematurely. Or else we're just missing out on damage. We could have saved the mana, but 2 mana is good to bank for the spell. So he'll probably just take this. Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna push for even more damage here. This is a good amount of damage, I don't really want to pass it up. And drawing cards is nice too. Alright, I'm fine with these trades. You really want to pressure them before they can level up to Sejuani and Gangplank. Our hand's kind of weird though. Parlay, okay, he's using that just to Sejuani Gangplank. So we really have to pressure him. Let's see what he does next. This is close to leveling up, which is nice. Okay, so he's going to be able to level up this Sejuani Gangplank really easily. We can try and make a good field here so that when we can open stack before he can get out like Sejuani and stuff, but don't think we're able to here. We can't really remove this either. We don't have too much mana because of how much we committed last turn. Probably just play the Warrior, honestly. Just set up for a good attack next turn. It's fine. Alright, we'll pass. Okay. So loses a lot of mana here, unless he plays like Mokio or something. Nocturne can be really potent next turn, that's what we're gonna go for. Salvage, interesting. Alright, so hope he doesn't have Sejuani. Sejuani would definitely be like the biggest damper in our plans, but otherwise we should be in a pretty good spot here. 6 mana. I think better to leave a Solaris Soldier. and then Slayer Soldier into Nocturne. That's the plan. This could be extra damage if we want to push. We'll see. I'd much rather him have Gangplank than Sejuani for sure. I'm just really afraid of, I mean, her Frostbite, and then if she can level up this turn too. Push for big damage. If he doesn't have Sejuani, I think we're in a great spot. Is he waiting it out is the question. Should probably save this for a Nightfall Activator, but depends how much damage we can push because he doesn't have healing in his deck. They usually don't run Tiny Tavern Keeper, so we do have 4 damage of Drain to push here. We have Nightfall Activators. I guess we'll be fine. Let's commit a little bit harder. Try and push for more damage. I feel like he has Gangplank. Doesn't want to just get traded for with this or this. Monkey. Interesting. That was a big commitment for him. We're in such a good spot. So Nocturne's gonna level up our attack, 3 out of 5 and 1, 2. So that's 5 out of 5 when we attack. Okay. So he can't block with anything but this. So we're just gonna attack with everything. I suppose we'll take this here because it's quick attack. And this should be aim. Oh, also I put Behold Infinite in this deck over the Unspeakable Horror. I think the extra Nightfall Activator actually is important. And this is what I used when I went on like the Master Ladder huge win streaks, so try to replicate that again. Pretty straightforward game. He didn't do anything too pressing, like too concerning really. Didn't even play champions or anything. So let's try and get another game in here. See what we're up against. Draven Jinx. Unless they high roll, this deck's very high rolly, then we should win. Like unless they have been really, really good, we should win. He does have the Jinx sleeves and board though, so gotta respect it. Diana's really good, especially going second. This could be good later in the game. We draw it later. You know, this card isn't that great versus aggro. It's expensive. You can deal with their units. This would be good later in the game too. These will all be good later. Jaunty's later. It really would open Lenara Dustbringer, so on turn 2 you can play Diana. Okay, we got Lenara Dustbringer. Sounds pretty good. He's off to a good start, huh?
They forced us to choose death or the blade.
We have to take this trade because he can block us to be attack anyway, and you do not want to take much damage in this deck. It can push out huge damage in one turn, so be careful. We could hold Diana here and just play the Mountain Goat and get a gem. This can't block it well. He'd have to play House Spider or something like that. Kind of tough call, honestly. I think I'm down to just play this right now, actually. This is just 1 damage. Killing it's not going to be, like, crazy. That's very good for us. Yeah, you need to have House Spider or, like, the 2-drop Big Arena Backcaster. Okay. So he's going a very aggressive route. He doesn't mind taking the 3 in turn to make these stronger. This is where it'd be great to have actually the Unspeakable Horror, like Guiding Touch instead of Behold Infinite in our deck. We're taking a lot of damage here. I would like to minimize the damage, but I also don't. I mean, the best bet here is just to Lunar Shapestalker and block one of the Poros. Block this, take 5, maybe more, depending on what happens. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna keep this as an elusive blocker for later. Alright, we'll just pass here. Here I really wish that we had Pale Cascade. This could be good into this. We get gem on Diana. Fading Maurice could be good to get a blocker here. I don't really want to use the gem on this because he can, if these were to trade, he can just use the axe to make it stronger. But I do want to try and kill Draven and hope he doesn't have Whirling Death. It'd be pretty brutal. Let's go Stalker Shadow. Let's hope he had Doom Beast here. These are good blockers. I'm being pressured pretty hard. This is a tough spot.
Autographs after the fight, kid.
Autographs after. Oh, good.
Night descends. Face your heretic.
If he has Whirling Death, we're in an awful spot. Forcing this trade could be good because they run crowd favorite. We have to level up Nocturne more if we attack with it rather than defend with it. Get excited. Okay. We're going for huge damage this next turn. He doesn't have much team left. We just have to survive. Seeing Doom Beast is going to be make or break. Like, if we Stalker Shadows into Doom Beast, would have been amazing. We definitely need a defensive Nocturne this turn. I usually don't ever do that, but don't be much of a choice here. I'm gonna save the Fading Memories for Doom Beast. We'll really need to heal for sure. It's kind of awkward, but Togaskate's good. Force gets to block with this. All the way down to 7. Maybe even lower. Let's see what he does. He has like Vision as the last card. That'd be insane. Insane damage. Okay. We can't really try to kill him too much because he can use these axes to make it so these can block fearsome units when I level up Nocturne. That's very good. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, we need one more to level up. I think I'm gonna use Crescent Guardian, but I need to be afraid of him open attacking or doing something like that. I guess I need to. No, what is Crescent Guardian? That's terrifying, Flame Chomper. I'm really afraid of Flame Chomper. Because I don't want to hook away my guys and go for game. Will drawing a card help here is the question. What could I even draw? I guess just put some Doom Beast range straight up for game. I just am really afraid of him open attacking for game. By hugging away my elusive. He's one off lethal right now with the current cards I know he has. Okay. So maybe we just lose here by exact game. Kicker. What's the exact game? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I thought it was gonna happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the House Spider's 1-drop 7, so I can block the. I could have blocked the House Spider, but not the Spiderling. And he playing touch with my blocker.